Imagine a world where scientists talked about plant sex with such graphic detail that it made even the most hardened professors blush. This is the story of Carolus Linnaeus, the man who not only revolutionized the way we classify plants and animals, but also pushed the boundaries of what was considered acceptable in scientific discourse. His work, while groundbreaking, was so explicit that it earned him the title of the Freud of the botanical world. But before we dive into the scandalous details, let's take a step back and understand how he got there. In the 17th century, a man named John Ray laid the foundation for modern biology. Ray was a humble scholar who preferred the quiet life of a naturalist over the bustling world of academic politics. His deep respect for nature and his meticulous observations led the Royal Society to offer him a prestigious position. However, Ray chose to remain independent, dedicating his life to studying and publishing works on plants, birds, and fishes. His most significant contribution was the concept of species, a term that would later become the cornerstone of biological classification. For Ray, a species was a group of organisms that could reproduce and produce offspring similar to themselves. This simple yet profound idea helped clear the clutter of mythical creatures and spontaneous generation from scientific literature. Ray's work was systematic and based on first-hand observations, making it a valuable resource for future naturalists. His methods and definitions laid the groundwork for a coherent and internationally usable catalog of the natural world. Linnaeus, born in Sweden in 1707, was initially destined for a career in the ministry. However, his love for plants, nurtured in his father's parsonage garden, led him down a different path. His early life was marked by a deep connection to nature, and he often spoke of the incredible resourcefulness of the Creator when describing the flora around him. Linnaeus's real breakthrough came when he was a student at Uppsala University. He noticed that plants, like animals, had distinct reproductive organs. This observation was not entirely new, but Linnaeus took it further by using these organs as the basis for his classification system. His Systema Naturae, published in 1735, was a groundbreaking work that classified plants and animals based on their reproductive characteristics. Linnaeus's system was revolutionary because it was based on the idea of plant sexuality. He classified plants into classes based on the number and arrangement of their stamens, male reproductive organs, and pistils, female reproductive organs. For example, he described the class Menandria as one husband in a marriage, and the class Diandria as two husbands in the same marriage. This approach was so explicit that it shocked many of his contemporaries. Linnaeus's descriptions were not just scientific, they were poetic and sometimes even erotic. He referred to the calyx, the outer part of a flower, as the nuptial bed, and the corolla, the petals, as a decent curtain. He even went so far as to describe the interaction between stamens and pistils in terms of courtship and marriage. For instance, he wrote, 3 blushing maids' pistils the intrepid nymph attend, and 6 youths' stamens, enamored train, defend. This language was so risque that it earned him the nickname, the Freud of the botanical world. Despite the controversy, Linnaeus's system was widely adopted because it provided a clear and systematic way to classify plants and animals. His emphasis on the reproductive organs of plants helped to eliminate the confusion caused by earlier, more arbitrary classification methods. Linnaeus's work also paved the way for future scientists like Charles Darwin, who would build on his ideas to develop the theory of evolution. Both Ray and Linnaeus made significant contributions to the field of biology, but in very different ways. Ray's work was characterized by his deep respect for the natural world and his emphasis on observation. Linnaeus, on the other hand, was a bold and innovative thinker who was not afraid to challenge the conventions of his time. Together, their work laid the foundation for modern biology and helped to shape our understanding of the natural world. Today, the concepts introduced by Ray and Linnaeus continue to influence the field of biology. The idea of species and the systematic classification of organisms are fundamental to our understanding of the natural world. The work of these early naturalists has opened up new vistas for research and exploration, leading to advancements in fields such as genetics, ecology, and conservation. The story of John Ray and Carolus Linnaeus is a tale of 2 men who dared to think differently. Ray's respect for nature and Linnaeus's boldness in exploring plant sexuality, have left an indelible mark on the history of science. Their work continues to inspire and guide researchers today, reminding us that the natural world is full of wonders waiting to be discovered. Whether through the quiet observations of a humble naturalist or the audacious insights of a scandalous botanist, the pursuit of knowledge about our world is a journey that never ends.